good morning again, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching from. My name is Joseph. I am a Microsoft certified trainer. I want to thank all of you for your continuous feedback. I appreciate your one-on-one chats, your calls, and your encouragement on the comment sections of these videos. I want to ask that if you have any question in mind or you have any topic that you want me to cover, kindly highlight that to me and I'll be happy to give that out in the video. If you know you've not subscribed, please do so that you can keep encouraging me by increasing number of subscription. You can also try to hit on the like button, just that, that will encourage me to bring more of this content to you. So to continue from where we stopped in the last video, this is the general office.com that I signed in as my user, Joseph Trainer, who is the global admin of this tenant, right? So today I just want to show you the apps that come along with um, the license that is given to a user and how they function. When we created this set of users in the previous videos, if you've not watched them, please try to do that. We gave them different licenses. We gave some M365 Business Standard, and we gave the others M365 E5, yeah, Enterprise E5, right? So let's just check that. Let's go to the licenses that are available on this tenant. Your product is where you go to know the license you have and the balances that you do have. Okay, so let me scroll down. I will see very soon that, okay, now I can see that I have Microsoft 365 Business Standard Trial. I have M365 E5 Trial, and I have domestic calling plan. The details are here. Of this one purchase 25, I've assigned 8 already and all of that. So my focus today is going to be on the applications that are contained in each of these licenses are assigned to user. So let's go to active users. If we go to active users and let's pick a user that has maybe business standard license here, right? Let's click on business standard. You would find out that this user has applications that are going to be inherited from the business standard license, right? So if you click on licenses and app here, you're going to see that it has loads of application, about 30 for this license. Yes, that's correct. And if you click here, you can scroll down to see that it has all these license, including Exchange, including Teams, including SharePoint, bookings, forms, planner, and so on, right? So now, when this is assigned to user and either of this is unchecked, then the user is not going to have access to those applications. But I want to start from this way. I want to create a new user on this call that we are going to be having as an unlicensed user. Then we're going to sign in as the user and then assign license and follow through. So what do I even give to this my user as a name? Okay, let me do I've not done feminine gender since, so let me do Deborah Smith. Let me do Smith. Deborah Smith, and that's her display name. Her username is Deborah.Smith at domain. Okay, so the next thing is to ask if this user is going to be having automatic password generation and all of that. You remember this in the previous session. So we are just going to leave this user to be located in Nigeria, and we are going to create him without license, because here is requesting if we are going to create this user without product license. It's not recommended, but for the purpose of this, I will just allow this to slide. Okay, so I will do next, and then next, and then it want to auto generate the password. So now what happens next is we're going to have the password, Deborah's password. Let's do this. Let me just do clipboard and clear my clipboard for us to copy. No, let me clear all the purge it. Okay, so let me now do this, copy the entire username and then copy the entire password. See, all right. Now this user does not have any, does not have any license. Deborah Smith is here without license. Let's go to a fresh browser and sign in as this user. Maybe in this place where we have guests, someone is already signed in here, but I'm going to sign out of that. Let's just do office.com and sign whoever that was signed in here out of this browser. Let's try to sign in as Deborah Smith and let's see what happens next. Okay, so this delaying a bit. Let's just hold on. Okay. Oh, sorry, the site was wrong. So, okay, so it's going to, okay, good enough. Yeah, I signed in at Kevin Smart before, so I want to switch to a different account. Email address, Control V. I'm going to bring this guy. Click on sign in, Deborah Smith, and then her password. Of course, it's going to request that I change this password upon first signing. Remember? So if you've not watched the previous videos, try to watch those ones so that you can see. So I'm going to put this old password and I'm going to put the new password here as okay, and then I want to confirm it. Excuse me. Okay, so while that loads, we're going to sign in the very first time as Deborah Smith, who has no license. But of course, because there is an account already for her, she can sign into office.com. Let's see what she's going to have. We're glad you're here and all of this for the learning. And okay, so when she's done, you look at here, apps, right? She's not going to have any application because she has no license assigned, but because she does have you know um, an account, then she can sign into office.com. So this does not require her to have any license before she can sign in. Now let's go back to Deborah Smith and then try to give her a license, and let's see what she's going to now have as applicant. Of course, if you click on licenses and apps for her, she's not going to have anything. That's why you did not see that she has any application. This is showing zero. She does not have any application available for her, right? So, but if I give her business standard, she's going to have 30 different applications. Look at it. So, what I would do is I will save these changes and then I would expect her to have those licenses now, I mean, those applications now assigned to our accounts. Let me scroll down and go to my guest browser. This is where Deborah is signed in. So if I refresh this, I'm expecting Deborah to have application Outlook, to have Teams, and all of that. If this is not taking effect now, I'm going to refresh again. And if it does not, I'm going to sign out and sign in as Deborah, and then we should have those applications available. Let me just do one more refresh, and then if it still does not pick those applications up, I'm going to sign in and sign out of her account. Okay, so let me sign out of our accounts first and then come back in. I'm sure that we should have those applications. We should have those applications, right? So let me see. um Let me just do come afresh. Okay, so let's see what happened next. I'm expecting those applications to load up now that she has license. In a bit, we're gonna have that. Home is loading. Okay, so this is Deborah Smith signing in. She still does not have the apps. That's funny. So just hold on. Sometimes it takes time to to sync. While this is even doing this, let's go back to the admin center to find out that we have Deborah Smith with license M365 business standard. Of course, we can see that. Let me just do a refresher once more and let's see. Let's check again. Okay. Now that this is loaded, we have Deborah Smith with um, M365 Business Standard. So let's come back to this, and then me in Teams as a user in the organization. She has access to me now, so she could chat me. Skip a tour for now, so she could chat me, hello. She could chat me and I'm going to receive it. That one is sure. So she can use Teams because she has the license. Now, something is going to be very important here. You'll see that she has Outlook. I want to uncheck Exchange Online license, Exchange Online application for her in the applications that are under the licenses assigned to her. And let's see what happens next. Okay, so the apps are loading up. Let's now look at licenses and apps. That loads up. Let's just take off some applications for her and let's see what effect that's going to make. Let's take off Exchange Online Plan 1 for her. Let's take off Teams for her, and then let's scroll down and save. Okay. Now that we are saving these changes, what it's going to mean is that the two applications, Outlook and Teams, are going to be taken away. Of course, Outlook is actually the mail client and the Exchange is the server, right? Now you've removed Exchange from this user. You've also removed Teams from this user. Let's see what effect that is going to have on her. All right. Now she still has access to all this because that has not synced already. Let's refresh and maybe try to sign out and sign in. After a while, this user is not going to have access to these applications because they have been removed from her. Let's now see. Of course, you can see already that she does not have Outlook here. She does not have Teams here, right? If you check very well now, it's because Exchange has been unchecked for her in the applications. Also, that Teams has been unchecked for her means that she will not see Teams here. Now, let's refresh this and let me see what happens. If it is syncing already, then she should not have access to Teams anymore. It's initializing. Let's see what happens here. I'm expecting it to throw an error. And if it does not throw an error, let me just sign out and sign back into Teams. Okay, let me sign out of Teams. Sign out. Let me sign out as Deborah Smith. Okay. Now that she does not have access to the Teams application here, let me refresh this, right? Because it's recommending I do that. When that is done, let's see. Okay, you're all signed out now. So let's do, yeah, this is Deborah Smith. So what I want to do is to click on sign in as Deborah Smith. And then I want to put in a password like signing into office.com afresh. Okay. All right. Now Deborah is signed in. What's this? Why is it taking Outlook again? I think that is syncing process. Let's go and verify from let's go and verify from admin center here that Deborah Smith still has Exchange and Teams unchecked for her. Sometimes it's just syncing, right? So let me do licenses and apps. Usually this all these changes are supposed to take effect maximum of 24 hours. 2 to 24 hours actually. So, but we are just rushing it to see if we could get something to pass the message on time. Let's see. She still has Teams unchecked. She still has Outlook unchecked for her, and it has not synced yet. Let's refresh the admin center. Let's see if we can force that to take effect on her. Okay, let's go back to the other browser, the guest browser. Let's refresh this also. Oh, great. So Teams and Outlook is gone because Exchange and Teams are unchecked for her. Let's say she does not have access to that, and the next thing she wants to do is to click on Add and then try to say, okay, I know the URL to sign into Teams and say Teams.Microsoft. just to make sure that she still finds her way in. I'm expecting her to have an error here stating that an admin needs to, she's missing out of Teams, an admin should enable Teams for her. So it's initializing right now, but she does not have Teams license. Let me say use web instead. And let's see, I'm expecting this to must through an error. Let's see. It's saying an error occurred. You can see the URL already. Now, if you have this kind of error, right, and you are trying to troubleshoot this, say you are missing out, ask your admin to enable Teams for this is the tenant, and then you're currently signed in as deborah.smith.this.com. Then select sign up for Teams to continue or use a different account. If she attempts to click on sign up, of course, use another account to know what that means. If she clicks on, sign up, it's going to take her out of that working environment. It's going to be taking her to different setup entirely, leaving the organization. So asking her to Microsoft boost teamwork in your business and free this and that is just telling her another different story entirely. Now, don't leave this and without looking at the entirety of what you have on the screen, right? Come and look at the URL. The URL is saying what? It's saying teams.microsoft.com this hash license error code user license not present forbidden. So if you have this kind of issue, even though the user has licenses assigned to her, that she can have access to other Office 365 application or Microsoft 365 applications, but does not have access to Teams, one thing is likely happening. The license may have been removed, the applications may have been unchecked for that user. So you need to make sure that you check those licenses for that, you check those applications for that user, for the user to have access to those applications. All right, let's now go back and check Teams and leave out Exchange for this user. I'll tell you the implication of that as well. Let's wait for this to load up. All right, so licenses and apps in a bit is loaded. Okay, let's scroll down to applications and then let's scroll down to Teams. Remember, Exchange is up here and is not checked. Exchange is still unchecked here for this user, Exchange Online Plan 1. So we scroll down and save. So since this is saved now, let me refresh the admin center. Okay, let me go back to the guest browser where I am signed in as Deborah here. Now, let me refresh this browser. I'm expecting it to pick up that license, but if it does not, it could just be a form of syncing process, and I'm expecting to take effect within 2 to 24 hours, but it can be faster. We can be lucky that it will come up here right now. Okay, so yeah, great. So that means it has picked up the license I checked for her, right? So it is going to work this way. So you can click here, right? And you see that something went wrong. Let's try again. Don't even attempt to try again. Look at it, can't sync right now. We'll try again soon. The issue is not because something went wrong. Nothing went wrong other than this user does not have Exchange Online license, because Teams gets its own calendar from Exchange, right? So that's why you see this little bird standing in here, and this guy is telling you that something went wrong. Let's try again. If you click on try again, the same thing is still going to happen. How do you resolve this? So you go back to this place, you go to Deborah Smith, and then you have to check the Exchange license for her. Otherwise, you keep on refreshing and something will always be going wrong until you identify that Teams cannot spool calendar, but it leverages on Exchange to supply calendar. So you check this Exchange Online, then you scroll down to this place, you save this, right, for you to be able to have access to calendar in Microsoft Teams. Okay, now let's refresh this and let's see what happens when we go back to Deborah Smith's sign in, and let's see if she's now able to have access to calendar. Let's just refresh this. I'm trying to look at the relationship between Exchange and Microsoft Teams. Okay. All right. So this one is refreshing. Now that it is refreshed, we may be lucky, like I said, for the license to sync now. But let's see if it does not sync. But just note that the reason why, sure, the calendar is here, right? The calendar is here and it can now book meeting. So it means that if you don't have Exchange license assigned to you, you cannot even have calendar and you cannot schedule calendar meeting in Microsoft Teams. This calendar is available now, and this user can now schedule meeting, can even schedule webinar because he has calendar available in Teams. Okay, so now maybe another point I want us to see is a very quick one because it's already becoming too long. But let's just try this out. Because you have this license assigned to you, you have option to use Word, right? Without having it locally installed in your computer. Let's just see Word opens. I just want to also show you the relationship between this and the OneDrive storage. Okay, so this user is going to be typing something in Word documents. All right. Let's just say first project. Okay. This is since I joined. Oh, okay. Okay, and so on, right? This is the document that is trying to make up, And looking at it, if you come to file, you will not see the option to save, but you can see the option to save as because this is automatically saved, to the user's OneDrive. Okay, and she can decide to share, but that's not what we are going to be focusing on today. So this is Word. Let's also check that she has option to also use PowerPoint. So she can prepare slides from here also, in PowerPoint, blank presentation, and then she can do a lot because of the license assigned to her. Yeah, let's just say this is a slide one, something is still going to load up somewhere here, and then she can decide to do presentation one, blah blah blah, and so on. And then she just, her design come up here, and then she click on these designs, and she uses them, right? It's still loading up, and then she uses all of this, and then when she wants to go to the next slide, she does this and all of that. Let's say she prepares this PowerPoint again, you know, and then the next thing she also has access to is what's there now, all office documents, right? You can have Excel, you can have OneNote, you can have all of this. Now the point is from here where she signed in, right? If she clicks on here and click on OneDrive, and it loads up OneDrive for her, for the documents that were prepared or the files that she has from her teams is going to be saved in our OneDrive. So getting started with OneDrive, right? Your OneDrive is ready. So just click on this to go. So all our files are going to be saved here. Now, clicking on this place, you are going to be having that presentation one that she was working on just in a bit ago. Look at it, right? But you see that this work was done in Microsoft Teams. I mean, was done opening Word document, was done using Word and PowerPoint from here, right? From here, and it was automatically saving to the OneDrive storage location because this is the storage location for this user. Now she can decide to either rename from here. She can decide to even share from here to people, right? So she can do a lot of things from here. Then they can have collaboration, co-authoring from this document that are being saved here. So that is what can happen when you give license to a user and when you alter the licenses. I hope this was very clear to you. And I know this is going to be very, very useful to especially those of us who are beginners. If you have any questions, you can also reach out to me. Like I always say, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn for more inquiries, and I'll be happy to provide feedback to you. If you have questions, also you can drop them in the comment section below, and I'm going to respond to your queries. So this is my account, and I'm always responding to chats that are coming in via this medium. I will always give response to that. If you have any questions, if you have any need for consultation or assistance to set up your environment, or you need someone to work with you as a freelancer, you can also contact me. I'm also open to working with you. Thank you so much, and I hope this was also very insightful. And I'll be looking out for your comments.